All right, so today we're going to talk about constructing a short written response. This is something that we have talked about in the past if you're in my class, but this is a really great review, making sure that every time you write a written response, you have all the aspects that you need to have. So we're going to use this RACES acronym to remember the 5 aspects of a written response. First, you will restate the question, answer the question, cite evidence, explain the evidence, and then summarize everything. So step 1 is restate the question. So turn the question presented into a statement to ensure that you answer it. You want to pretend that whoever you're handing the short written response to has no idea what question you're answering. Here are some examples. What is the theme of the passage becomes the theme of the passage is. Or what is your understanding of the poem Wild Geese becomes my understanding of the poem Wild Geese is. Let's practice this. For each of the following questions, try to answer them by restating the question. If you need to, pause the video. Did you answer the questions? Hopefully, you included the question in your answer. For example, what is your favorite holiday? For me, would become my favorite holiday is Halloween. Or, if you could travel anywhere in the world, where would it be? Would become, if I could travel anywhere in the world, it would be York, England. Make sure that you include the question in the answer anytime you're writing a written response. Step 2 is actually answering the question. This is combined with step 1, typically in the same sentence. Here, you will state your claim based on the facts or evidence available to you. Here are some examples. The theme of the passage is that the good always weighs out the bad. Or, my understanding of the poem is that it is important to do good in life and share that with others. Step 3 is to cite evidence. You will cite evidence from the text to support your inference or claim. You can either use a direct quote or paraphrase. Make sure that you use a lead-in phrase and don't just drop your quote into the writing. It's important to embed quotes into what you write so that it's clear how they relate to your claim and to the rest of the text. Remember that we talked about 3 effective ways of leading into a quote. You have the dialogue quote method, where you use a comma, a dialogue word, and a capital letter. The flow quote method, where the quote flows right into the lead-in as one complete sentence, and you need no punctuation and no capital letter. And finally, the colon quote method, where the lead-in phrase is a complete sentence with a colon followed by the quote that has a capital letter. Don't forget these as you put evidence into your short written response. And step 4 is to explain your evidence. We also sometimes call this to analyze. This is the second half of the quote sandwich, where you lead in, have the quote, and then analyze or explain. Explain how the quote or evidence supports your claim. It's really important that whatever quotes you put in there actually relate to the claim that you're trying to make. You shouldn't put quotes in that don't relate at all. Use phrases such as, this shows, this means, or this evidence explains that. Finally, step 5 is to summarize. You will summarize your claim and restate the question as the conclusion. So use phrases like to summarize, or in conclusion, or in summary, or to wrap it all up. Or you could say something like, with all of this information, it's really clear that. Do something so that you synthesize your pieces of evidence and wrap up the information, bringing it back to your claim. You want your entire constructed response to be really cohesive. Now that we've read through the steps, you're ready to write to the races. So clever there. But in all actuality, this strategy of restate, answer, cite, explain, and summarize is really helpful, not only in my class, but in any other classes and on any testing that you come across. When you're asked a question and expected to do a short written response, always walk yourself through these steps, and you'll be off to a great start. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.